Today, we aim to conquer the wasteland of Fallout 3 as a communist and destroy capitalism. Capitalism. It's why the Great War started in the first place. While you're stuck in a vault with 3 goobers and your supposed friend that later kicks you out after helping the entire vault. It's also indirectly why your dad left you. However, since a child, your dad taught you something that would guide and change your life forever. Communism. You're tired of your dead-end job, working as a lame Pip-Boy programmer, and being told what to do by the overseer. That donkey. You are Karl Marx, and it's time to conquer the wasteland and create a truly communist society. First things first, what are the ideals of communism that our character needs to follow? Eliminating social classes, creating a monopoly market, property is publicly owned, so I am free to steal anything, each person works, however this can lead to inequality and capitalism, so our main mission is to destroy capitalism. Here are the rules and goals of the run. We can only use Chinese weapons and armor, no use of caps or buying items, we need to liberate all the main settlements to communism, and we need to destroy capitalism through the destruction of markets and creating an equality by killing people of higher social standings. In other words, we have a lot of liberation of the wasteland to do, not to mention like DLCs, so let's get into it. When I am reincarnated as Karl Marx, I try to make my character look like him as much as I could, but obviously Fallout 3's character creator is limited, so this is the best I could do. Moving along, as Baby Marx, I completely understand everything that my dad is saying to me before picking my special stats. However, instead of picking out my special stats book, it was just a book on communism, and my dad had been indoctrinating me as a baby to relearn what I knew in my past life. My baby self had remembered what he had forgotten. After having a baby life crisis, I found my real special stats book lying nearby and chose my stats, which goes as follows. So, we got Strength 5, Perception 7, Endurance 6, Charisma 5, Intelligence 5, Agility 7, and Luck 5. The stats are mostly mid across the board since I tried to implement general Jingwing special stats from the DLC, but I still had an extra point left, so I put into Endurance. After getting blinded again, I have my birthday party and try to educate Bush on one of the many principles of communism: public property and sharing resources. However, he rejected this information, so I spit on my sweet roll before giving it to him to teach him a lesson a hard way. When I leave my party to go use my BB gun, I know that some people might see killing the Red Roach without a Chinese weapon as a failure of the run, but this is my channel and I don't really care because we're still in the tutorial, boys. So next, it was time to take the goat.
Who is indisputably the most important person in Vault 101? He who shelters us from the harshness of the atomic wasteland, and to whom we owe everything we have, including our lives.
If the Overseer is seen as an overpowered person above everybody else in the vault, he goes against our ideals, our vision for the wasteland. For this, he must die. However, I knew I needed to wait to take him out from his dictatorship since I have no weapons or armor I can use for now. For my tag sales, I decided to put points into lockpick, small guns, and sneak. Looking back, I probably would have swapped out lockpick for melee weapons, since I didn't realize how much I would use the Jingwing shock sword compared to the Chinese assault rifle, but it is what it is. So, after escaping the vault, I made a beeline to the Brotherhood Outcast base so I could complete the Operation Anchorage DLC. Yes, I was completed about doing the DLC since it is a simulation of killing Chinese soldiers, but I'm gonna let it slide since I decided to annihilate the Outcasts after completing the simulation. Plus, it's the only way to get Chinese stealth armor, Jingwing sword, and easily obtain a Chinese assault rifle early on in the run. Afterwards, I easily killed the rest of the outcasts except one because I ran out of bullets. Then I came back and officially claimed their base under a communist flag. After obtaining our weapons and armor, it was time to go to the first settlement, Megaton. It's time to blow 'em up, boys. Hold up. Why do you have to detonate the bomb, Kracko? Oh, let's pour into some people. Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there. As we walk into town, we immediately see all the capitalism and class differences from the children of Evan Priest, the sheriff or Lucas Sims, and the shop owners that are above lower class citizens in the town. Naturally, if we destroy the town, we are helping the surviving citizens of Megaton join our communist society and become equals in the ways. Next, we need to deal with Tenpenny Tower and take out the bigoted Elise. So, I did the quest that Three Dog dislikes for some reason and let the ghouls into the tower to slaughter the residents. After the quest was over, I noticed Mr. Burke was still there, and when I came up to him, he just did this.
You should be proud of your accomplishment.
Moving along, I discovered Rivet City and went to the Jefferson Memorial early to take out the super mutants. But while I was there, I ran into a huge problem. Thank God I got just lucky enough that the last blow killed him before my weapon gave out, and I was dry of ammo, which I didn't realize would be a bigger issue for this run than I thought it would be. So, I took a trip to Vault 106 so I could obtain some Chinese officer swords to repair my sword with, and was able to use some recon armor to repair my Chinese stealth armor, which was an unexpected bonus. After that, I hiked to Vault 112 and entered the simulation to find my dad as a doggo. I had fun fucking around with the residents, and part of me wanted to go pint-sized slasher on everybody, but I thought it'd be more fitting for the run to initiate the failsafe and let my Chinese brothers fire on the residents. After lying to my dad about meeting him in Rivet City, I took a complete detour and ended up in space. Yeah, I really did not want to do the Mothership Zeta DLC, but I knew I would need alien epoxy if I wanted to beat this challenge, since the durability of the shock sword is not that great. Honestly, I don't have much to say about this DLC other than this happened, and this happened over and over again, being the main focus of the DLC, and it was boring as fuck. By the end of the DLC, I was able to get 38 alien epoxies, which is more than enough for me to last the rest of the run. Like, this was huge. So, after getting back on solid ground, it was time to further the main quest, and...
Megaton destroyed? You? You didn't have anything to do with that, did you?
Dad, look, you don't understand. I'm saving people here, man. I got such a big brain over here liberating the wasteland of communism. Like, you don't understand how zerch my brain is. Well, you got your lame, piss-ass radiant water problem. Nobody cares about water. They care about living in my utopian society that your small brain can't even comprehend. Yeah, so after that, my dad sends me to do lame chores. Oh, wait a minute.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu!
It's the Enclave!
Fuck!
I'm sorry.
Oh no, what's that? My dad is dying? Womp womp. After that, I escaped with Dr. Lee to the Citadel and decided to take another detour from the main quest. It was time to pay a visit to the Capital Preservation Society and steal the Declaration of Independence. So, while I was at the archives, I let Sarah help me out with the enemies before she met her demise. I tried to keep her alive, but she was just too weak and kept dying, so I just ignored her and stole the Magna Carta, Bill of Rights, without her help. When I reached the final room, Button and Gwynnett tried to stop me.
Soldiers and you've raided my home. But I have not yet begun to fight. I cannot allow you to steal our freedom.
But I revealed my identity as a redcoat spy and stole the final symbol of the Free Nation. When I turned to Abraham, he rewarded me with worthless caps and praise.
I understand the road was difficult.
But now, the time has come, and with every document, every piece of this capitalist society, all framed on the wall, I could finally burn everything to ashes. Moving along with the main quest, I headed a little lamplight and talked to the mayor, who tells me about the kidnapped kids in Paradise Falls. At first, I used my negative karma to get inside and do stealth kills inside of one of the buildings. But although I was stealthy, everyone immediately became hostile towards me when I exited the building, so I just killed all the slavers off one by one. After setting the kids free, I was able to get inside Lamplight, but before I went into Murder Pass, I overheard Sticky talking to the other kids and needing an escort to Big Town. At first, I thought this would be an easy side quest that would give me a fast travel point to come to later, but oh boy, I was so wrong. Oh my god, this was the worst. For one thing, Sticky is incredibly annoying to listen to, and another when his appendages can be ripped off so easily from his body because he's dumber than a board and runs straight into danger. I had to give him armor and weapons I grabbed from a dead raider and make multiple saves just to keep this little brat alive. Now you guys might be asking why I want to do this, and I know I didn't have to, but it got to a point where I felt like I was in too deep and I needed to see this through. So when we finally arrived in Big Town, I started the quest to look for Red, since she's the only vendor that runs a clinic in the settlement, so I needed to take her out. However, I needed to wait to do this quest since my lockpicking skill was not 100 yet to get through the very hard door to enter Germantown Police HQ, so I headed back to Murder Pass for now. Despite dealing with the super mutants, like the brutes and masters, I was dealing a significant amount of damage with my sword and holding up against higher level enemies pretty well. Since I had a limited amount of radiation resistance, I decided to let Fox retrieve the Gek for me before... Uh-oh! It's the Enclave! Uh-oh! I'm being put to sleep? Yeah. When I finally wake up, General Poopy Man greets me in my holding cell, demanding the Lane Purifier code, and then the false president wants to see me. Although President Eden is a machine, he and Kentucky Fried Chicken must die, since they want to rebuild the old capitalist society of America and everything we stand against. So, I convinced John Henry Eden to self-destruct the base and escape with victory. With Raven Rock taken over, I set my sights on Evergreen Mills and Vault 101. After the Behemoth and the Raiders were taken out, I killed Smiling Jack and took the bobblehead there before starting Trouble on the Homefront quest. Originally, I planned to blow up the vault and force everyone to leave so they would become equals in the Wasteland, but things did not turn out the way that I planned. Since one of the officers began firing at me, I took him out, which made the Overseer hostile towards me, so I couldn't initiate dialogue with him. So I had no choice but to take him out as well. After Amada became the new Overseer, I knew I needed to end the class system and finally convert everyone in the vault to communism. I was tired of being treated like trash and being forced to leave, even though it was really the fault of my dad and not my own. So, I finally liberated every person one by one until no one was left. While on my conquest, I discovered a secret Chinese remnant spy bunker where my fellow communist brothers were stationed while the bombs dropped. This was a great find because I acquired 2 dirty Chinese jumpsuits and was able to repair my own since my stealth armor was broken at the time, so I couldn't equip it. Moving along, I made my way to Airview and completed the Blood Ties quest for the experience points before slaughtering everyone, which included the family, since both settlements have leaders and the family has a vendor who sells goods as well. Next, I decided to go to Rivet City and finally take out the merchants in the marketplace, or I at least tried to. In Rivet City, there's a lot of unkillable NPCs, which includes some of the merchants and Harkness. Even after completing his quest, he was still marked as an essential NPC and was a complete pain in the ass. Every other NPC I could kill went down, but it took so long to do this since I went through every part of the ship, which meant a lot of loading screens. Not to mention I had to kill Harkness at least 10 or 20 times. This was the longest clip I recorded for my entire run, which is like 40 minutes of just me hacking and slashing all the residents of Rivet City. After all that, it was complete, and I could finally place Rivet City under my communist regime. Since it had been a while, and I completed a bunch of quests since starting the Big Town quest, I headed back to the German police HQ with 100 lockpicking skill, and located the targets. Since Big Town has very few residents, the only person I was really concerned about killing was Red, since she's the only one who is a vendor at the medical clinic. However, I didn't even need to worry about taking her out, since the super mutant did the job for me. So, Big Town was finally another piece added to my growing empire. After that, I made my way to Temple of the Union, Cadbury Commons, and the Underworld, and killed all the residents in each settlement. It's kind of funny in Cadbury Commons how NPCs make such a big deal about like the antagonizer and the mechanist, but I dealt with the situation by killing both of them in a matter of minutes before taking out Uncle Ro and the rest of their residents. Also, while I was in the Underworld, I saw Moria Brown, and I never realized that encounter could happen if you blew up Megaton. So, you know, that was kind of dope. Before going to do the final quest, I also paid a visit to Oasis and killed Harold by slashing open his heart.
Nah, I say let it die. Let it die, let it die. Let it shrivel up and come on, who's with me, huh? Let it die.
Since the tree people view Harold as a god, Harold has power over these people, and by killing him, everyone, like, basically becomes equals and joins my growing regime. Along the way, I also took a detour to Andale and took out the cannibal crazies, so I could also claim the town. Now, the time has finally come to seize the Jefferson Memorial under our control and fight further back against the Enclave. Now, I was not happy about the Brotherhood and their use of Liberty Prime, but their fall will come soon, along with the fall of Liberty Prime. But for now, I made my way to the Purifier and met Colonel Sanders, who's waiting for me to decapitate his ass. After that, I entered the code into the Purifier before flopping over and seeing a slideshow of my progress towards liberation of the Wasteland. However, my fight was not over with the Enclave, and I'd soon learn upon waking up from my 2-week napping session. The Brotherhood wanted me to help them do some fetch quests and take out the rest of the Enclave, so it was time to head out once again to do the Broken DLC, Broken Steel DLC. While on the first mission, I witnessed the glorious fall of Liberty Prime before being tasked to retrieve the Tesla coils from Old Olney, one of the most dangerous places in all of the wastes. Yeah, so this was actually super easy at this point because my stealth was 100, and with the stealth armor, I always could just land stealth crits, and even after I attacked, that Deathclaw still could not detect or attack me, which just shows how, like, OP and broken this build, like, really became. After retrieving the Tesla coils, I went on a little train ride for some reason that I can't remember, to be honest, before the final showdown between me and the Enclave. To be honest, getting through Adams Air Force Base was not fun, especially because I ran out of bullets for my Chinese assault rifle, so I could only do close range attacks against enemies. However, when there's a ton of enemies and turrets placed everywhere, this became just a royal pain in the ass. Instead of going from room to room, being thorough as possible as I usually am when it comes to Fallout, I just sped past everything because I just wanted to complete this quest and finally just blow up the fucking Enclave. After so much time, diligence, and hours spent spamming the right trigger on my controller, the Enclave became no more, and with it their dreams for a new society that only reflected the old one. Despite completing the Broken Steel DLC, I was not done with the Brotherhood just yet, and I took out every Brotherhood member that was non-essential. So, at this point on our conquest, we have taken almost all of the Wasteland underneath our communist flag, but there's still one more place, one final mission I must accomplish. That's right. Did you really think I was gonna end without going to the Republic of Dave? As I approached their leader, I decided to declare my true identity and overthrow this republic. And with that, our communist conquest of the Wasteland is complete. It was certainly a very long journey to get here, and took way longer than I expected it to, but it was definitely an interesting first challenge to accomplish. One other thing that I want to address is that I was going to do the Into the Pit DLC and Point Lookout. However, when I started the DLC, I realized that I would be forced to use other weapons besides my shock sword, because they take all of your weapons and armor after you become a slave. So I just decided against it and just focused my conquest on the Wasteland, pretty much. Thank you all so much for watching till the end of the video. This is my first ever upload, so it really means a lot, and I plan on making more content in the future. Since this challenge was more complicated, I'm planning on conquering a simpler challenge soon, so stay tuned for it. Again, thank you so much. It means so much to me, to anyone watching. Until next time, boys, I am out.